Any health-related information on the following show provides general information only. Content presented on any show by any host or guest should not be substituted for a doctor's advice. Always consult your physician before beginning any new diet, exercise, or treatment program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the Inspired and Empowered Living TV show. Are you ready to live an inspired and empowered life? And I want to welcome you all for joining me. We are live Tuesdays, 11 a.m. on W4WN.com and Talk4TV.com. And I am Nanci Deutsch, licensed clinical social worker and intuitive breakthrough expert and certified hypnotherapist. Today, we will be talking about how to have stress management during the holiday season. We'll continue where we left off last week. Learn how stress is affecting you during the holiday season. Discover what stress is and how it affects you, and learn techniques to change your brain and change how you cope with stress so that you can live an inspired and empowered life. When you come into the chat live, you can ask your questions and join in the discussion. Love to have you join us. And together, let's create a life you love. First, I want to welcome everybody who's here in the chat. Welcome, Allie. Welcome, Marie. And welcome all of you. Whether you are listening live or you are listening or viewing at a later time, I want to say thank you for tuning in and joining us today. So first, let's talk a little bit, a review about what stress is. Stress is something that we all have. You cannot be alive and not have it. What happens is, and the stress response is something that is ingrained in us. It is something that we needed to survive during caveman days. So when there was a danger, like the tiger or the bear, the saber-toothed tiger, or whatever the dangers were back then, you would go on instant alert. Your body, the stress reaction, your body starts sending all the blood to your reactive system. So your heart starts beating faster, your breathing, everything starts being on high alert. And you can fight. So some cavemen fought back and killed that tiger or killed the bear. And some people knew that they needed to flee. So you are either fighting or fleeing, and they added a new piece, which is freezing. When you go into a reaction where you know you want to say something or do something and you just can't, you go into freeze. And all of that is part of the stress reaction. And what has happened in today's society, if you are not in immediate physical danger, what happens is very often our body goes on automatic and you have the chronic stress reaction. And so today during the show, we're going to talk about ways to reduce that chronic reaction and Also, because it's the holiday season, some people love the holidays. Some people dread the holidays. Some people are somewhere in between, but you may have more stress. There's occasions to go to. Maybe you're hosting dinners. Maybe you have to buy lots of gifts. So, whatever it is, the stress level can be increased. And so, we're going to talk all about that. So, some of the guidelines, and last week it was a great show, and my helpers Ali and Marie gave some wonderful suggestions as well to other things that you could do, like the self-talk, the aromatherapy, whether there's music, you want to listen to music that calms you down. There's whatever it is that you find is helpful during the whole year, you need to up it during the holiday season. So I encourage you to find the things that bring you peace, that bring you joy, and do them even more during this time. And if you're one of those people, I'm just calling you out because this just came to me and I don't have time. I have too much to do. So, what I'm going to support you in remembering, take a breath. Breathing is a crucial and important tool for you to use during a stressful time. Breathing, because what happens when you get stressed, your breathing contracts. And when you start taking deep breath, it actually kicks in the relaxation response. And so really it's about breathing and releasing, finding the ways to relax. And even if you feel you don't have time, taking a minute in between activities, taking a minute when you're feeling like, oh, I can't do this anymore. What would it be like to just take a minute? Just a minute can change your whole response during the day. And their studies have shown that the more that you give yourself downtime, the more productive you can be. So think about that. So Ali says, feels called out. Okay, Ali, okay. All right, thanks. I appreciate you both. I appreciate your support and your input. So thank you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about other ways that you can, besides the tools that I just mentioned. Oh, and the other tool that I talked about last week is EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, which is tapping around your eyes, tapping under your nose, on your chin, on your collarbone. And what tapping actually does is it actually calms the nervous system down. And there's a lot of YouTubes. You can go on YouTube and look for tapping and tap away to help you calm the stress away. Okay, so what I want to support you in remembering that the stress is not about the holidays necessarily. Now, some of you may not have good feelings about the holidays, but it's not about them because some people love the holidays. It's about how are you holding it? What are you thinking about the holidays? If you're thinking, oh, it's the holiday season, I'm so stressed out, guess what? You're going to create being stressed out. But if you start reframing how you're holding it, different things that you can say to yourself, changing the self-talk. And this is something I call reframing. You reframe how you're holding something. So instead of saying, oh, the holidays, there's so much to do, I can't handle it, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Suppose you say to yourself, okay, there's a lot to do. It's the holidays and I have a lot on my plate. I'm going to make the list. I can do this. And I'm going to pace myself. I am going to find a way to make this positive. I want to find the joy this year. I want to tap into my joy and find the joy. And so that's what I really want to encourage you. How can you change the words, the self-talk? How can you change it into something more positive? So if anybody would like to share in the chat, if there's something that either you say to yourself that can make it more positive, or you want support in making it more positive, and we'll find a way to change it for you, type in the chat and let's see if we can find a way to help you feel or think more positively. Reframe that self-talk. That's what I really want to support you in doing. Now, one of the other things about stress is stress happens. It's a part of life. And what's really interesting is that there's studies show that we all need a certain amount of stress in our lives to feel stimulated. We need stress, believe it or not. We need stress. But what happens is when the stress reaction gets too much and you go on that chronic overload, that's when it becomes challenging for your nervous system, for the body. That's when you start the rest of your body system start reacting, that mind and body connection. You can't separate out the mind and the body. So it's, how are you holding the stress? What kinds of tools do you use during the course of the year to help you work with your stress, to help you moderate it? Now, a lot of my clients do exercise, and it could be going to the gym. It could be running, could be walking. It could be yoga. So really finding the exercise routine, the ways that really support you throughout the year. And then, as I said, during the holidays, instead of decreasing, because that's what happens. You say to yourself, see, I know, you say to yourself, too busy, I can't do it, I don't have time. So the new thoughts are, I have time and I'm making time for me, self-care time. My motto is self-care is self-preservation. So to not burn yourself out, you want to make sure you find the time for you with the self-care activities like exercise, eating right, getting a good night's sleep, using the tools that we talked about last show and earlier. You want positive self-talk, really crucial. When I'm working with my clients, having that positive self-talk, changing the negative to the positive is crucial. And because how you're talking to yourself will make all the difference, what you're saying. And if you can't go from I'm dreading the holidays to I love the holidays, that's not real. What is real is finding the next phrase or the next possibility. So like for an example, a process would be, If you're saying, I'm dreading the holidays, I'm dreading all the work I have to do, I'm dreading blah, blah, blah. If you're saying the word dread, then you're going to be feeling dread, thinking dread. But suppose you said, instead of dread, suppose you said, you know what? Okay, there's a lot to do during the holidays. How can I make this more fun? What can I do to challenge myself? Maybe asking yourself the questions. Or from dread, what would be, maybe it's tolerating. Maybe I can say, okay, you know what? I am going to start thinking about the holidays in different ways. And instead of dread, I'm going to say, you know what? Start feeling the gratitude, or start thinking about the things you do love. Like maybe it's a time for your family to come together and you love your family. Maybe there's some people that maybe you don't want to see. And maybe it's about really finding that family time. So finding just maybe positive things can help start you thinking about it in different ways. Maybe you take a day off, and you don't usually take a day off. So I get a down day. I'm going to relatives and I get a down day. Okay, so Marie has something. Set aside some time to volunteer at Christmas. Chia wrapping center or a soul kitchen, soup kitchen. So thank you, Marie, for that. So maybe volunteering, maybe that would be in your heart. Maybe that would help you give back. So that is a possibility. And if you go from, okay, I can tolerate it, to maybe even what can I enjoy about it? Or what are the positives about it? So start thinking of different ways to think about it. So that, because when you change your thinking, it changes your feeling and it reduces your stress. It's an amazing concept. Try it. And then after you try it, I want to hear. I would love to hear from you. So, how you're thinking about things and breathing. Remember breathing. I'm going to be saying breathing every day because, I will tell you in my own life, I know when I get caught up in stuff and I'm in busy mode, when I take even a moment to say, remember to breathe. Remember to breathe. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. And so I really want to support you to remember to breathe. Remember, some of my clients tell me that they hear my voice. So whether you're listening to this, if you're listening to this on the podcast, hear my voice. Remember to breathe. Take a time out to breathe. Take a deep breath now with me. And then keep hearing my voice throughout the day. If you're viewing this, then you can see me and hear me. And imagine a little Nanci on your shoulder. Remember to breathe. Take a deep breath. And I really want to hear from you how that goes. So, and I want to support you in remembering. And this is also about changing how you think about the holiday. Instead of letting the holiday rule you, what kind of holiday do you want? What do you want? What's going to make you happy? What's going to have you feel more peaceful? Now, if you're in a partnership, if you're married, if you are making plans with others, Find a way to find the balance. What's going to bring you joy? And what brings them joy? What you want to do is ask what's going to be the win-win for both of you. Sit down, talk about it. Make plans together. And one of the other things that I notice is when you're in dread mode, a lot of times you're taking on all the tasks yourself. Well, they don't know how to do this and they don't know how to do that. I need to do it. So I'm going to support you in learning how to delegate. You don't have to do everything. Learning how to delegate, learning how to let certain tasks go so that it stops you from being in overwhelm is really important. So, what are the tasks that you really want to do that are going to bring you joy? And what are the tasks that you can let go of? And get your family support. Get other people's support. And if you're a busy person, a busy woman, a busy CEO or CFO or manager or whatever, hire somebody. Maybe do find some gifts together and let the other person pick them up. Hire an assistant. There's ways to do things so that all the tasks are not on you, so that you can reduce the stress. And if your stress is around money concerns, then you may want to first set a budget and not go over the budget and find things to give the people that you care about within the budget. Be creative. One of the things that you can do is, if you are a creative person and you love to create, maybe you need to create gifts. Or maybe if you're a healer, maybe you can give away a session as a gift to someone that you love. Or maybe you can barter with another healer and do family swapping. Now that doesn't sound good. Do a swap that they give you a session for one of your family members and you give them a session or something for their family members. I know, just came to me, just suggestions, possibilities. So be creative. Coupons, massages, different things that would maybe change the energy of how you look at it. And if there's a whole group of people, let's say you do Secret Santas, or instead of giving gifts for every kid, do Secret Santa, where you pick one name so that you only have one gift to give instead of all the kids, all the people. There are possibilities and different ways to do that so that you don't feel the money stress, which helps you feel more fulfilled and happy when you don't have the money stress. Now, if you have the time stress, again, I want to support you in thinking about delegation. What can you give away? What can you do to get supported? And maybe like if you're hosting the dinner, maybe you want to either do a potluck. Oh, no, I can't do a potluck. Well, maybe you can. Or so that everybody brings a dish. And that way everybody's engaged and everybody feels that they have something invested in the holiday dinner. Or maybe you do a family cooking. Now, if you have a small kitchen, then maybe you want to rotate family gatherings while you're cooking away or that kind of thing. See what other parts of members of your family would be interested in or how you can work it out. Now, Marie said, I walked around last night looking at the Christmas lights and the fresh snow. Beautiful. Also was stargazing and it was awesome and calming. Thank you, Marie, for sharing that. Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things about Christmas time is the beautiful lights. Allow the lights to brighten you up. And thank you so much. And Marie brought out a really important point, nature. Nature can help calm your nervous system down. Thank you, Marie. Calm your nervous system down. Strengthening, like stargazing, watching the stars. Now, some of you may be in places where maybe you don't get to see so many stars if you live in a city, or maybe if you do have a way to see the stars, find the stars, allow yourself to do that. Really allow yourself to take in nature. Nature is beautiful and it's calming. And that is a really wonderful way to reduce your stress. Thank you, Marie. Thank you. And one of the things that what I feel has gotten lost in the holiday season is that we're so busy doing and so busy thinking about the gifts we have to get and all the errands that you forget what the holiday season is all about. So whether you're celebrating Christmas or you're celebrating Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or any other holiday in between, or both, or all, enjoy. Really remember this is a season of love and learning how to remember that it's about connecting with your loved ones. Connecting with those you love, your family, your friends, the people you love. And remembering that. It's not about the gifts, even though that has become a very important part or has become a significant part. But it's not about gifts. It's about the connection. And really, when you think about the gift, I always like to use my intuition when it comes to gift giving. So really tune in. What would your loved one want? What would your friend want? Allow your intuition to guide you instead of thinking from your head and getting really stressed out. If you can breathe and go into a special quiet time and start tuning in. What would your loved one really want? Maybe it's not that expensive gift. Maybe it's a day together. Maybe it's a certificate and a coupon, one special day together, or a lunch out, or a picnic, or whatever. Find the things that your loved one really wants, your family, your friends, and let your intuition guide you. That can reduce the stress. And Marie says, in our friends group, we don't give gifts to each other. We all put in some money and give the money to the Christmas cheer board to support a family. Yes, in capital letters. Remember what the holiday is really about. Thank you so much, Marie, for that. That is beautiful. And that is a beautiful, beautiful thought, is to be able to give to other people. and to find a way and to make donations. And maybe that's what you want to do, and to give to a gift in someone else's name. Maybe they love charity and you're going to give the gift of giving to their charity. So that, Marie, that's a beautiful idea. And it's remembering what it's about. This is a season, and also want to support you in remembering to bring this through the year. This has become the season of love and joy and giving. And I also want to support you that this is something that is a wonderful opportunity to do throughout the whole year. And allow yourself to bring and to be that love the whole year through. And the more that you are the love, the more that people are drawn to you, that you make a difference in other people's lives just by being you. Now, and if you're being challenged, then again, it's finding a way to think about it in a different way. What are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? And if you can't even think of a person, but you have animals or a special animal, maybe it's your animal. I'm grateful for my precious cat. I'm precious, my spunky dog, my loyal dog, my bird. Find the things that you're grateful for. And another thing that's really fun, and I've done this with my family when we have family gatherings, is instead of sometimes talk can, like if you haven't seen the person and you want to talk, go for it. But sometimes playing a game can be really fun, like playing charades or playing a board game that everybody loves, playing cards, doing something that the family will all come together and enjoy, finding things that really bring you joy. So play some kind of games. That way the kids can get involved and the adults can get involved. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Most adults have forgotten how to be kids. So you and your family can learn from the kids and learn how to play again. That play is a really huge, huge way to reduce stress, to manage stress. What happens is we get so caught up in the doing, in the have-tos, the obligation. And a few shows ago, I talked about instead of the have-tos or the need-tos, make it choices. Again, changing the way you're thinking about something. So instead of I have to do this, I choose to do this. And how can you make it fun? How can you make it playful, joyful? Have fun, play games. And it's a lot of fun. There's in my family, when I would go visit my family in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, and we would play this game called Quirkle. Never heard of it before, but they taught me how to play Quirkle. And Quirkle is a game where it's shapes and colors and you have to match. So it's a different game. Now, I'm just giving an example. There's charades, and there's some of people like Scrabble, and some people like, what else? There's all kinds of card games that you could play. So find games that you would love to play. And I have all these board games that I love to play. So maybe you're a Trivial Pursuit person, and find a way to include the whole family. Make it so no matter how old the person is, they're part of the game. Make it fun for everyone. And then I'm going to support you that if there's someone that you're going to see over the holidays that there's a feud or you're upset with them, put the feud or the upset on hold. Put it in, imagine putting it in a little box in a container, put it up on the shelf, and have fun at the holiday gathering. Feel the love, be the love. That's going to be really important. Putting family feuds on hold can be a huge stress relief. And can you imagine just coming in and being that loving person? Now, if there is someone that you do need to have a conversation with, you may want to say to them either before with a gathering, you may want to say, let's schedule a time. Let's call a truce for the family gathering and let's schedule a time where we can talk and just communicate and allow ourselves to both express in healthy ways. And healthy communication, just a reminder so that this is in your mind, healthy communication is no blaming, shaming, dumping, screaming, or yelling. I'll repeat that. No blaming, shaming, dumping on someone else, screaming or yelling, which is actually the same, or being negative, being sarcastic, throwing digs. Being sarcastic, if someone's being sarcastic to you or you're being sarcastic to them, that is actually anger. That's anger being acted out. So sarcasm is not a healthy way to be dealing with your anger. You want to find healthy ways to express your feelings so you're not hurting yourself, someone else, or the environment, or destroying property. And so, and healthy communication is, I felt blah, blah, blah when you did this. So I felt really hurt when you ignored me. Or I felt really hurt when you went behind my back. That really hurt. So you want to find the way to express it in a healthy way. And then you want to take turns expressing in healthy ways. So find a time where you can both express in healthy ways. And before you meet with that person, you want to make sure that you process through your part. What is it? What is it that got triggered for you? And what is it you needed to learn from? And how can you, if you need to make amends, if you hurt that other person, how can you make amends? And finding a way so that you both get heard. Because that, I will tell you that most conflicts happen when other people, they don't feel heard. A lot of times you're not hearing each other, you're missing the boat. Really important conversations and communication is about listening and really hearing the other person. If you're still getting triggered or you're still upset or still angry, work on it. Get a support person to work through it. A therapist, a healer, a counselor, a coach to help you process through before you speak to the person. So put those family feuds on hold during the holidays, during the holiday gathering, and make a time to really connect and communicate and heal it. It's really powerful what happens when you heal a conflict with another person when you're ready, because you also have to be ready. You want to have processed through it. When you heal the conflict with the other person, the relationship gets better. the intimacy grows. And you may never, like it may be amazing and miraculous what unfolds when you heal that conflict. Possibilities. And what I want to also support you is having compassion. Having compassion for yourself and having compassion for others. Every single person, you and everyone, we all want our needs met. And if you think about the other person, and this is really, really interesting, every single one of us has that little child inside. And that little child wants to be loved. It wants to be heard. It wants to be seen. It wants to have attention, positive attention, and be acknowledged. And so that's really important, is to remember that inside each one of us, including yourself, there's this child. And learning how to give to that child's self can really heal you and change your relationships. And so I really support you in looking at that and kind of being with that. See how that can change you, not only during this time of year, but all year round. And one of the other things that's really, thank you, Marie. Excellent tools, Nanci. Thank you. And one of the other things that I really want to support you is not to take things personally. Like I said, inside each person is a little child. And they're doing what they're doing. And it's not even about you. Now, you may trigger them because of their stuff. But most of the time, majority of the time, it's about them and what's getting triggered. And so taking things personally is not going to help you. So it's learning to not take it personally. Saying to yourself, and this has helped a lot of my clients, okay, I'm not going to take this personally. This is their stuff. They're going through something. I'm triggering them. And if you've looked at how you're behaving and you feel like, now this is also really important. It's learning to know what's yours, what's theirs, and what's somewhere in between. But if you haven't done anything and you're coming from a loving space and they're reacting, that's their stuff. They're getting triggered for whatever reason. And it's being able to find the place, what's yours, what's theirs, and what's somewhere in between. But learning not to take others' reactions personally is a huge way to reduce your stress. I cannot even begin to tell you how many, including me, how many of my clients and the people that I've worked with through the years, when they stop taking things personally and they realize that someone's stuff is going to be their stuff and you can't change them. You cannot change another person unless they want to change. You can only change yourself and how you react, and learning how to respond differently. And that's doing your work. And that's a process, okay? That's a whole process. So I really want to support you all in really thinking about the holidays, finding new ways to think about them, to change that self-talk. That's what we talked about through the show, changing the self-talk, using tools like breathing techniques, just really taking that deep breath, taking time out. Self-care is self-preservation. Even a minute through the day, minutes through the day can help you reduce your stress, manage it better. Using exercise, taking care of yourself, getting a good night's sleep, eating well. And during the holidays, that may be a challenge, but find the ways to eat well, to reduce the sugar. And sometimes that can be hard. I get it. But find a way to maybe have less than you had before. And to keep remembering that the holidays and this time of year is all about the love, being that love, having compassion, finding the love for family and friends, and remembering what it's about. And join me next Tuesday for more inspired and empowered living. We're live Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern on W4WN.com, Talk4TV.com, and you can find the podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, and Apple, and many more. And I wish you all an inspired and empowered day, and an inspired and empowered week. Have a great one, everybody. Goodbye for now.